Greetings, Cyclopeans! Today I'm going to review horror film The Gatehouse. Woo! Starring Scarlett Rayner, Simeon Willis, and Serene Sofer, and directed and written by Martin Gooch. And forgive me if I've mispronounced any of your names. There will be some spoilers here, so you have been warned. Okay? The best way I can describe this movie is that it's Celtic horror with just a touch of Lovecraft, so we're already off to a really good start. To begin, the music was really interesting and set a mood that I wasn't expecting. It was upbeat for a horror movie. And it's got really cool cinematography in here too. It's all done in I want to say Wales or in that area, like the Highlands or Wales or somewhere in England, I think. And the interplay between the father, Jack, and daughter, Eternity, is fantastic and very believable. But there's this sinister thread playing behind the whole thing related to the fact that Jack and Eternity are living in this creepy old, and we're going to find out later, haunted gatehouse. To the movie's credit, the characters run into monster troubles in about the first 15 minutes when two drunken partiers are assaulted on a lonely road by what looks like an ancient Celtic creature, a really cool looking monster. And this is where you Lovecraft fans are really going to perk up here. You're going to like this because this thing is like straight out of a Lovecraft story. It's really cool. Add to this the horror movie classic where none of the characters believe the disturbing things that are happening all around them with increasing frequency and hideousness are anything other than a coincidence. Horrid nightmares? No problem. Horrid nightmares with police stopping by your door about an assault in the nearby woods and a missing girl? No problem. Horrid nightmares with police stopping by your door about an assault in the nearby woods, a missing girl, and now everything in Eternity's room suddenly and mysteriously trashed? Coincidence! Could all this be related to a small stone Eternity picked up in the creepy woods? If so, that's one seriously possessive monster. Oh, and Eternity, in her, pardon the pun, endless compulsive digging and treasure hunting, cut the power line to the house. So guess what? No power! All candles from here on out, which sets a great horror movie tone. Now the movie, it gets a little tricky as it jumps between dream sequences upon dream sequences and then into reality. So sometimes you're never sure where you are, but it doesn't hurt the film. Instead, it makes it a little scarier. Some of the dream sequences involve Jack's wife, who we learn died in a boating accident nearby the property. And the question becomes, is she trying to contact them from the other side to warn them about a malignant entity who's coming after them? 42 minutes into the movie, the only problem I had was the cavalier attitude of Jack, though not anyone else, to the missing girl. Don't you think that if a girl went missing in your neighborhood, you'd be a little freaked out and maybe even looking around for her? It wasn't that big of a deal in the movie overall. It was typical horror, theme. Like something happens and it's there, but they're not going to waste a lot of time on it. So it really didn't hurt the movie overall. It was just kind of like, nobody bothered. Nobody seemed to care because he didn't seem to care. Some of the other people were looking. However, we go back to the movie and when it gets much more intense now because one of the constables looking for the missing girl is now murdered in the woods. And I wanted to see if the story would take the usual route of ignoring a major event which would have the entire country up in arms. Now, nobody saw her get murdered, and only we know that it was the monster. But is a missing girl and now a missing constable. But after a few minutes, it suddenly hit me. This is a fun monster movie, right down to the classic pipe organ in the background when Jack, stuck with trying to finish his novel, is doing research, and he takes a trip to the local asylum. And while he's going to the asylum, it's like big old Scooby-Doo style pipe organ playing in the background. I was like, oh, that's the kind of feel they're going for. It's going to be a monster movie. It's going to have scary spots, but it's not taking itself in too seriously. It's having a little fun too. But the pace here, it picks up with Jack finding more and more clues that something's really wrong in this part of the woods, and especially with this property that he owns. And the more he's doing work on this book, the more troubling things he's learning about all this. The woods, the property, the background, and the former author of the book who's vanished, and now Jack's stuck being the ghostwriter. And finally, this leads him to the last guy who made a certain mistake. And what was that mistake? It was, remember the rock Eternity picked up earlier? It's one of a bunch of ancient and seriously powerful stones, and now the forest itself has summoned the horned god to get it back. Jack, suddenly realizing this, makes a dash for home to save Eternity, who's been left behind. She's being watched by a spoiled brat babysitter. But on the way there, he gets, wait for it, a flat tire. So he has to phone ahead to the house and inform them he won't be coming for several hours. Back at the house, though, things have been getting really weird. Surprise! And Eternity's babysitter has summoned her friend, who just happens to be a psychic. And at first she seems like a charlatan because she's really kooky and dressed up, like in this goth outfit and everything. But she quickly proves herself to be the real deal. She comes into the gatehouse and she knows there's something going on in there and she can feel an entity and she starts doing things to try to contact it. And unfortunately, she gets in and over her head real fast, having wandered into a mess related to this gatehouse that she can't even get out of. Eventually, they're all going to have to face the Horned God, and it's here that I'll let you find out what happens. I don't want to ruin the ending for you. It has a lot of fun. And I've given you a few spoilers already, and I really think this is definitely something you want to go see. I give Gatehouse 5 out of 5 stars for fun, and also for keeping me interested right to the end. And I really enjoyed the actors who I thought did a great job. A bunch of them should, and hopefully will, go on to bigger films. Again, this was a good monster movie with interesting characters. Also, I'd like to extend a special thank you to Uncorked Entertainment for sending this little gem along. They're great. They keep me posted with all these great little movies they make. And if you look below here, you'll see there's a little link we put in for the trailer and the photos to the Gatehouse that you can click on. Now, if you like this review, you like the little podcast, please subscribe or at least hit the like button. Sci Clops, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, minds.com, and Pinterest. And we've got some cool shirts and stickers in the Sci Clops online store too, if you want to support us. Or if you got a buck to spend, please consider supporting the website podcast via the donation button on the website front page at scyclops.com. Or just support us by clicking on any of our Amazon ads. It'll take you directly to Amazon where you can do your online shopping there, and we get a penny or two at no cost to you. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. Have a great 2018, and we'll be seeing you very shortly with a brand new movie. Woo!